Hi, this is Sonia Watches Solutions, and I just want to show you this bobby pin ephemera I made. And basically, it's what it says. It's a double-sided clip you can use to put on your journals. And it's got like some mulberry flowers and some bling, and it has like a little clipboard opening here, so you can actually clip on some ephemera. Let me just show you. And then in addition to clipping it on, you can slide this down into your journal or something. But with it being thick, you're going to need, you'll need it to slide onto something thick instead of just thin paper. And this is double-sided, and you have a pocket and some bling and a little fabric flower. But the way it functions is, like I said, find something pretty thick in your journal or scrapbook or whatever you're using, and it'll clip, it'll slide down, and then you can add whatever you want on this little clipboard. And you can turn it however you want to turn it. It's a little small clip. And then if you turn it over to the other side, you can add your ephemera in the pocket. So it's double-sided, so it's going to show on 2 pages. So, and my journal's a little bit thick, so I'm going to have to turn it and hold it so you can see what I'm talking about. But yeah, you can just add whatever you want to it, and that's how it functions. So let me show you how I made it, and let's get started. Okay, so what you're going to need, you're going to need some bobby pins. Any size will do, really. You're going to need some of these popsicle sticks. You're going to need like a thin paintbrush, some double-sided red score tape, some super gloss, some gloss super heavy gel, fabric of your choice, some embellishments. These are the little mini clipboard embellishments, and you're going to need some other type of embellishments too. Some scissors and something to pry apart your double-sided tape, and I typically use this little Tonic Studios paper piercer. So this is going to be really simple. So I'm just going to start out making one. So to do that, you're going to need 2 bobby pins, 1 popsicle stick. So you're just going to go ahead and feed your bobby pin onto your popsicle stick. And make sure, it doesn't matter which side you put it on, but just try to make it even as far as like how far from the edge you want it. It's probably roughly 3/4 of an inch away from the edge, roughly. Okay, so then we're just going to come in and we're going to add I'm just going to take the paintbrush and I'm going to slide this over just a little bit, the bobby pin over, and then I'm just going to paint on the super heavy gel where the bobby pin's going to go. That way it'll stay in place, oops, once it's in there. You could just go ahead and put the heavy gel on first and then put the bobby pin on, so either way will be okay. If I can just get this open and stick this back on here before it dries. Okay. I'm going to do this one the same way. I'm just going to take it off, and then I'll put my little heavy gel on. Now make sure you do both sides of your popsicle stick with the heavy gel. That way it's definitely going to get stuck to it. Then you're going to slide it on there. And if you get some on the bottom, like I just did, just wipe it off, because you don't want it to set like that on the bottom portion of your bobby pin, because this is what's going to feed onto your page. Okay, so when you're satisfied with the distance of where it's at, you're just going to take some score tape, and I'm using, I think this is 8mm wide score tape, and I'm just going to go straight across the popsicle stick and over top of the bobby pins. And I'm going to do both sides like that. I'm just going to make sure it's smoothed down. Make sure your red score tape is smoothed down really well. It's hard to get a grip of it. Okay, and then you're going to line your paper up, your fabric up. So what we're going to do is just kind of line it up in the center. My popsicle stick measures approximately, it's roughly 4.5 inches. So my fabric is roughly 6 inches by 2 inches, roughly 6 inches by 2 inches. I didn't really do a lot of measuring, I just kind of eyeballed it. So what we're going to do, we're just going to cut, hold on, let me just pick this up so we can get an idea of what I'm doing. I'm just kind of hold it in the middle, and I'm just, make sure you hold it steady. I'm just going to cut where it's going to fold over. Hold on. Which is basically on the outer sides of the bobby pins. You're going to do that on this side too. It just makes it easier to fold when you're going to glue this on. Okay, so we're going to take the double-sided tape off on one side. And we're just going to flip it over to the sticky side, and we're going to lay it basically where we had it at first, making sure that your bobby pins are lined up in the middle of where you just cut. So somewhere along in here. And I'm just going to flip it over, and I'm going to smooth it down. And then I'm just going to complete cutting all the way up to the popsicle stick. You may need some really small, sharp scissors in order to do that. And then we're just going to come through And we're going to clip that little piece off. Let me turn it around like this so you can see. This is what we're cutting off. And just go straight across. So this is what it looks like so far. All right. So we're just going to flip it over, and you may want to trim some of these leftover fringes. You know, it's not necessary, but it always kind of helps me whenever I'm gluing stuff together. Let me try to get that off. Oh, I forgot to close my gel medium. And make sure when you're finished with your gel medium, you go ahead and wash off your paintbrush. Okay, so now I'm just going to go ahead and peel off this other side of double-sided tape. And I'm just going to carefully pull this upward from the middle, kind of pull it and stick. And then I'm also going to try to get these little corners in there, pull it and stick. And try to get this rounded up on there too. I'm going to do that on both sides. Just kind of get that in there. Okay, so you're going to have some excess left over. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put another piece of score tape going straight across. But I'm going to make sure I line it up. Try to feel where the edge of the popsicle stick ends. Or begins. And then that's where you're going to put your double-sided score tape. Make sure it's smoothed down really well. And all the while you want to try to make sure, if it's not too late, try to make sure your bobby pins are as straight as you can get them, you know. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and peel double-sided tape off. And then starting in the middle, we're just going to fold it over as far down as we can get it. And then we're just going to come in and we're going to trim the excess fabric. Like I said, you're going to need some really sharp scissors that can get into the nitty-gritty corners. And these are Kai 4-inch embroidery scissors. They're a little bit jacked up, but they still work. That's the beauty of it. Even though it's been through the ringer, it still performs really well. Okay, and then we're just going to clip these ends. But what I'm going to do, see how it folds over? I'm just going to clip it at an angle. And then I'm going to cut that in the middle. And then I'm just going to peel it back a little bit from where I cut it at. And I'm just going to take this piece off. And that'll leave me a little flap area, which I can cover up. But what I want to do, I just want to leave one piece of the flap area right here. So I'm going to come back in and cut just a little bit more off. Just don't cut yourself in the process. Then I'm just going to put a piece of double-sided tape right here. See how it's a really small piece, that's all you need. And the exact same thing to this side. Just gonna cut it at an angle. And then just kind of cut this. Basically, I'm just cutting this down. Okay, so you may have to add some more double-sided tape to this, but it's going to get covered up with an embellishment anyway. So right now it's actually up fine. So for the side that has the flaps on it, although you would think it's the back side, it's really the front. And it's also the side that I'm using. You see with the bobby pins how you have a long side and a short side? Let me see. The long side is what's showing. So the long side is where these flaps are going across. So now I'm going to take one of these little mini clipboards and I'm going to glue it to, I'm going to take some more of the Liquitex Super Gloss Heavy Gel. And I'm going to glue it on here. But I want to make sure that it's going to stay. So I'm going to have to allow for a little dry time. But just make sure that when you put it on there that you don't get the glue on the part that opens, because you need that. You need your clipboard to function as a clipboard. So just make sure it's only on the back. And then we're just going to put it in the center. As a matter of fact, this doesn't want to stay too well. So I'm just going to add a little bit of gel on there. And if it doesn't want to stay stuck together, you you can actually hold it in place with one of these clips. Just like let it kind of hold for a little bit. Then we're going to take some embellishments, and I have some, this is bouquet from Tim Holtz Ideology. I'm just going to clip a little piece off, and I'm going to glue it over top of where this, just want to make sure that this is going to dry really well first before you add your embellishments. But for time's sake, I was just trying to show you before it's complete. I'm just going to add this. I'll just zoom in so you can see. To cover up a portion of that, I'm just going to go ahead and clip this here. I clipped the stem, so all we have are just the little petals. I'm just going to add some glue, some more of this Liquitex gel medium. And I'm just going to paint it on there. Okay, and I'm just going to apply the flowers. Okay, so I've let it dry for about like 20 minutes. I'm still going to be really careful with it because I don't want it to come apart. So I'm going to go ahead and take this clip off right here. Just try to carefully remove it without moving anything else. Okay, so now that right there is dry. So I'm just going to add some more flowers and stuff. Okay, so I'm just going to let this dry, and then I'm going to add, I think I want a little bit of sparkle, so we'll see. I may add some glossy accents or something to make it shine, some glitter or something, I don't know, we'll see. So I'm going to let that dry and I'll be right back. Okay, so while this is still drying, I'm going to, I took a piece of solid color scrapbook paper, and this measures 5 by 4 1/4. So 5 by 4 1/4, and then I cut 2 contrasting colored pieces that measure 4 3/4 by 4. So, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue these. I'm going to center it and glue them on front to back like so. Let me just go ahead and do that. And you can just use art glitter glue or some whatever your favorite type of glue is, glue stick or double-sided tape, whichever you want to do. This one here. I prefer to use the wet glue. That way if I don't line it up the way I want to, it kind of gives me some wiggle room to fix it and adjust it to where I want it on the paper. It's pretty much almost centered. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue right there. I'm just going to knock that down. I'm just going to come over and do the exact same thing. Okay, so you have a double-sided piece of paper. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip this over to this side, and I'm going to add a piece of score tape. I'm just going to start from the top edge and come over and then cut it. Burnish it. So it's just going straight across. Just take the tape off. I'm just going to line it up to the center. So. And this is going to become a double-sided clip. And I'm going to put some type of, I think I'll use scrapbook paper on this side. Yeah, I think I'll use scrapbook paper going straight across there. Actually, I have a cute little flower, a little fabric flower, and fashion tidbits that I got from, I think, Hobby Lobby. So I'm just going to use one of these. And it has like a little Velcro backing on it. I like that. I'm just going to basically glue it to the top. And I think I'll just use double-sided tape with this being fabric and all. Okay, so I'm I've had a change of heart for this little centerpiece. I'm going to take this off because I'm not really feeling it. I'm going to use one of these little pieces of bling to really give it that shabby chic pop. So I'm just going to glue on one of these little things. Because I think this will just set the tone a lot better, and just, to me, it'll just look better. I'm just going to pop that right on there in the middle. And to me, that just looks a little bit better. It looks more shabby chic. So while that's drying, I'm gonna create a little dangle for right here. So I'm just gonna get my hole punch. Okay, so I've got my crocodile, and I've got this little black eyelet that I'm gonna use. So I'm just gonna punch a hole. I'm gonna try to get it close to the bottom without messing it up. I'm trying to center it as best I can. Just kind of eyeballing it. And I'm just gonna put this in here. And then seal it. Then I'm just going to take my eyelet. I'm not a jewelry maker, so I'm not like the best at this. Hopefully. And it just kind of hangs. You can see it from both sides. So on this side, I'm just going to create a little pocket over top of this. And I have some old scrapbook paper that I'm just going to cut. So I have to score it. So I'm just going to score it a 1/2 inch from one side and a 1/2 inch from another side. And I'm going to flip it. I don't know if you saw that or not. So it's 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch. Flip it around, 1/2 inch again. I'm going to go ahead and take a circle punch. This is a 2.5 inch circle punch. You can use whatever size. I'm just going to punch a little hole in the center just to show where the entrance to the pocket begins. Then I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut this little box out right here, this little square. I'm just going to come in at an angle where the score marks meet. Knock that off. Do the same thing over here. And I want this side to show, so I'm just going to fold it in. I'm just going to add some glue to the lower bottom flaps, the left and right flap. Glue it together and hold it for a moment. let me just make sure that this is going to fit on here. And it will. And then this is a little bit too tall, so I'm just going to cut it down just a little bit. I'm going to take about 3/4 of an inch off. Because it's just too tall. And I'm just going to take the circle punch again and try to get it in the center. Yeah, I think that's better. Then I'm just going to glue this on. And you can distress the edges if you like. This was a spontaneous thing for me, so I didn't think about it until after I got the glue on it, so that's fine. I can still come back in and distress it. Just making sure it covers this up. And basically you have like a little embellishment. Okay, so this is basically finished, and I just added some scrap paper onto it, and you can use it in a journal. Just kind of like, here, let me zoom out a little bit so you can see. You can kind of flip it to the back, like, or it goes down like this, but you'll need something kind of thick, since the bobby pins have a slight wide opening because of the popsicle stick. So it can enclose, or it'll go over top of something, it'll hold something thick. You know, you can just put some ephemera wherever, you know. It'll hold a thick amount of stuff. You could even put like a journal signature up in there and it will hold it. That there for now. But yeah, that's basically it. And it has the Shabby Chic kind of bling to it, double-sided, and you can just add some ephemera into the pockets and stuff. So I hope you liked it, and like, comment, share, follow, subscribe. Check out my blog and other social media channels, and thanks for watching.